Hi guys, hi everyone. That was a late entry from me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was
What were you
enjoying
thinking
the
about?
I was enjoying the song too. Actually, do you know what I did? I closed my eyes and I started doing like just being in the zone. Then I realized that way too. I'm supposed to say hi guys, welcome to
You're
another
supposed to
episode
introduce
of
yourself.
Anime and
Yes.
Opposites. I'm your host Uforo and my co-host
Mm-hmm.
Chola. And
Mm-hmm.
we're here to bring you another wonderful discussion on something dear, near, not far from us.
Near, dear, not far from us. Yeah, just mixing things up today. Like,
It's a remix kind of day. You have to remix things to make things fun. Anyways, so finally, when I say finally like that, do you know what comes to my head? Maybe you used to watch wrestling maybe at some point, but The Rock
no.
used
I mean,
to
yes, but
when The
no.
Rock used to be wrestling, he would say, "Finally, The
I'm
Rock has
actually,
come back too." So anytime I say finally, the next thing that comes to my head is The Rock has come back.
I'm just gonna say, I'm glad I never watched The Rock as a wrestler.
Hmm.
I just never did. I'm not saying I haven't seen pictures, random pictures. I
You
never
you
watched
you
it ever,
missed a
and
lick.
I'm glad.
No, you missed something.
And I wasn't interested. No, no,
I
no.
know you weren't, but
I
still.
almost I almost detest wrestling. I can't stand it.
That's a
I
sad
don't
one.
like it. The
That's
only
a sad
time I
one.
used to know more about wrestling, even then, was the Undertaker days, right? And even then, I've never liked wrestling. I don't
Was
like
it?
that whole that whole spectacle they put on
That's Undertaker's
for
gong, by the
wrestling.
way.
That was what
Undertaker's gong.
Undertaker's gone. I don't like the whole spectacle they put on
No, no, no. That's
for
what.
wrestling. I
But
don't like it. It's all
that's
an I
it's an
know, but
act.
that's why I
It's a
don't
it's a
like. I
flashy
know,
act. That's what it
I know.
is.
That's why I don't like it.
Of stunts,
I'd
a
rather go
flashy.
and watch UFC for some proper
But
stuff. All the stuff
UFC
they
is
do.
great. UFC is great. And speaking of
Ugh.
UFC and sports, speaking of UFC and sports, we should have been on our last previous news episode. Anthony Joshua
Oh yeah, no, but it
lost
happened after
to
we did it. Right?
no, but
It happened after.
yeah, it happened. No, not the last one. I mean, the last one that came out last this Wednesday that just passed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So um, he lost to Usyk, and yeah, that was a tough one to take in. But I follow boxing a lot, so I know all these things. But not to get into that. Like we're starting initially from the first. Finally, we're here to talk about. We finally get to talk about Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi.
Yes, Shang-Chi.
And no, no, he said he's not Shang-Chi in the movie. He said Shang-Chi.
No, I was saying no. He didn't say she. He said chi.
Shang-Chi. That's it.
He used the chi sound. It's now the
Shang-
sha part that one has to even be careful about. But yeah, but anyway, either way.
Either way,
Yeah,
Shang-Chi,
we get to finally.
Shang-Chi, any of the Shang to the Chi, Shi, it works. Anyway, so we finally get to talk about it because I saw it last weekend and Jola obviously saw it before me. And now we can go into talking about it. But first, before we get in, like we'd always do, ratings. Then from ratings, we just dive down. What's your rating
You
out
go
of 10?
first.
I have it as an 8/10. That's where I have it. I keep it as an
Which
eight
was
over
not your
ten.
initial thing.
It was
When I
seven
was
point.
talking to you,
It
that's when
was
you
no.
were
I
like,
started with
yes,
seven. No, I
you were
started.
remembering. I was like,
Yes,
what are you talking
I was
about?
having a process. I had a process, but
Mm-hmm.
I landed on 8. My process led me to 8, and that always happens. I have process. But anyways, so yeah, I give you an eight
When I
over ten.
start giving you things, and you're like,
No, no, no. I
yeah.
didn't. You didn't give me
That's
this
how
much
that's what
from.
you did with
Yeah,
Suicide
but you didn't give me this
Squad.
much to get to 8. It was
No,
just
I
it was
didn't.
initial. So don't make it seem as if you started throwing things at me and then I was not like, oh yeah, rechange. No, no, no. I got to 8. It's just as I started it, I initially went so harsh, then I now dialed up and I was like, oh yeah, actually it's an 8. So what about you? Where do you put it?
Um, yeah, definitely nothing less than an 8. I maybe like maybe like 8.5.
8.5. Okay, then where do you put, because the next what I compared it to, I'll put it two movies. Where do you put Black
What did
Panther?
we?
First of all, let's just
Black Panther for me was probably like 9.
say now Black Panther was a 9. What about Thor Ragnarok for you? Because that's what I used. I used the
I haven't
words.
seen that in much longer. That's tough because I wouldn't put Thor at the same as Black Panther, but it is better than this.
Aha. Okay.
But it cannot. I'm not. It can only sit at that
8.5. No, then okay, then I guess we are.
Unless I want to be doing.
No, I just wanted to. No. I just wanted to. No. 8.5 is fine. I just wanted to see where they say, because I thought, well, from the conversation we're having, I felt you.
I told you my issues with it.
Yes, but I know you told me your issues. But to me, when I read that, I said, "Are you rating Ragnarok under this?"
Oh, okay.
But from obviously hearing this, we're on the same page, and that's how I felt. Like, I think he did really well. I think he did better than a lot of people expected. A lot of people expected it to be not great. I think he did really well. Like we said, better than expected, and it's now number one highest grossing domestic film of 2021. So this year, and that's really, really good. And obviously, Marvel know how to knock it out of the park with certain movies. Just that some other ones might not be so, but some are great. I felt the same. I mean, I felt like this was a Black Panther in its own sense, because it's that kind of, to a heritage that comes from something. They even had it even stay slightly more on even board, because Wakanda, Wakanda doesn't. I mean, obviously those places don't exist, but you get how that other one is a slightly
doesn't exist,
but the way they made it is in China. They made it a little bit more. They made it seem real, like that, more than how. But anyways, and it was going into the pros and cons. Let's just go in there. I mean, it was a good first pro for me. It was a beautiful movie to watch. That's like the highest pro, because there's something that when you do, which I was talking to you about on the chat, is that when you go into when you know about the martial arts heritage and where martial arts is a dance to a certain degree. Like, a lot of people, like, that's why you see all this, most of the styles is like dance and movement. Even when they used to act the movies back in the day, it was, and how they used to sequence it, that, or when they are doing all these tournaments, how they sequence it, that you're using actual like weapons, but you're not touching each other. It's because it's like a tango or a waltz. It's just like everybody's moving to a certain degree. So I felt that thing here. I felt the dance. I felt that whole beauty, like, especially with the sound in the background as well, because they had some of those Chinese music or something playing.
That was
you now hear it, so it really, and even feeds into your.
Speaking of music, real quick, I also didn't expect the
hip hop
rough mix. Yes, they did with the Chinese.
That was a really good
Chinese. Then they brought
that was really good. That was really good. No, even I think even the initial hip hop music when they started the movie, and it was all hip hop, and then it was such a wonderful mix. Like, they need to like pay the sound person some more money, because they did well. They knocked it out of the park. Like, that mixing that hip hop to the Chinese heritage kind of music, to the hip hop again, to that, and they were just mixing it up and down. It was really, really nice. I enjoyed that a lot, and I think that was one of the best things about the movie. So moving on from that one, I now got to the other thing that's really good.
Okay, so you want to say your pros first? Let me just.
No. Okay, you say something. You say a pro. Say a pro. We can go knock and knock.
No, that's fine if you want to.
We can throw in pros and cons. I don't really mind how we talk about it. Like, I'm okay to pro here, con here, whatever comes to your brain, throw it out. We discuss. Like I just wanted to state that as an official stand innovation pro. Like that's a good one.
Yeah, fair enough. And with the dance thing you mentioned, then I'll just touch on that. That was probably most evident at the very beginning,
Yes.
just with the man, the dad meeting the mom, and the fight
Yeah, that
and
was
the
so
difference
evident.
between their
Yeah.
fighting styles.
Styles,
He came
he's
with
so rough.
force,
And
and
she had
Haz
to
was
like,
redirecting your
yeah, hers
energy
was
and
so
your
much yin
force
and yang.
against.
It was like that kind of
Yes.
whole
So the guy's like bam bam, and
flow.
she's just
Yeah.
like treating him like a
She's
baby, you know.
like a child,
So
yeah.
yeah, that was very, that scene especially was very,
It was
like,
very
almost
pretty.
watching, very pretty, and it was like watching all these reminiscent of all these House of Flying Daggers
Yes.
type of Asian movies, which is very nice. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there.
I also wanted to say, like, funny enough, they chose two good characters. Like, it is no, all the character choices were all great. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
good, yeah.
I'm trying to
I'm
say,
gonna even
like,
mention that's the
him,
dad. I can't
the
remember his
main
name,
guy,
that's why I'm saying the
Shang-Chi,
dad.
or whatever
Oh
his name
Shang.
was,
Just call him
and
Shang.
Shang and his mother, they chose people that look alike because they actually do look alike. Even the sister looks like the mother. Like they did as I said, even the character choices were even not so
let me
bad in
just
looks.
let me just also say, they also, and this is speaking just biologically, not that I'm not as a shallow thing,
Mhm.
but they also probably look more alike to those who aren't Asian. You know, the usual.
No,
It's
definitely.
easier for someone of that same race to see differences
No,
between them.
definitely. No, definitely. I don't
But yeah,
disagree
I
with
get what you mean.
no, I don't
With the
disagree with that because that's why a lot of people used to say, oh, that guy looks like another black person looks like you, and you're like, huh? From her?
yeah,
How the what?
yeah,
So I know that they can easily tell the differences. We might not be able to tell it as much because of they can see it, they're used to it, and just like other people cannot tell like as much. Like
yeah,
the amount of different celebrities that are black that I've looked like in my life.
yeah.
And I'm like, these people, I'm seeing their faces, they are so different. Like it's not like, oh, it's the same person. One is
Yeah.
this, another person is this, another person is this, another person is this. I mean, I'm hearing more of this, so I believe this, but the rest, I'm like, you guys are just three black people and trading my face together and saying, yes, you look like this. And I'm like, no. Anyways,
Yeah, but
um,
regardless of that, they did pick people who like look
yeah,
like
there was a little bit of it. For me, I could see the slight resemblances, like you, and I don't mean it, I just felt like whatever they did,
yeah, yeah,
whether they did it to cut up or do some makeup to make it look slightly different, was a box. So yeah, that was actually very interesting.
yeah.
And
You're gonna move on
then
to another one.
I think the next one was like the fight scenes. I really enjoyed it. The boss one was absolutely wonderful. The one
Yeah,
on
you know,
the
people were skeptical about that.
oh
That
that boss,
the tram scene, rather,
yeah,
not
the
boss.
tram scene, yeah.
Uh, yeah. Because people were more skeptical when they saw it, like in the first trailer and stuff, you know. But yeah, I loved it too.
I
And
really enjoyed
I
it.
don't know if you watched Niger, not watch, listen to, because some of them there were complaining. Because I also spoke to him, one of the
Mhm.
guys of it. They were just complaining about how that particular scene was too clean. And I'm thinking, first of all, it's even an
How?
MCU movie. You're not gonna see
No, they even put it rate PG-12 or
blood
something like that.
or
It was
no.
even not even up
Yeah,
to
you're
13.
not
It
even
was
gonna see that much. Like, what are you expecting from a Marvel movie? First of all, but anyway, that aside, I liked that whole thing. It was really
I
good.
think I think I think I think sometimes people on the night, and this is no beef to any of them, but people on the Niger geeking out. tend to
Oh, it wasn't all
what
of them. It was
no,
like
no,
two
yeah,
against the
yeah,
rest,
no,
and the
no, no.
rest too were
Okay,
watching.
that's I saw some
Giving
people
me
like
respectable.
some of because I've heard some things in the past as well, and it's like sometimes they want a bit much, they want too much. It's
Too
like
much.
you
Like
want
what do
too
you want?
much,
They
you want
cannot
too
please
much.
you.
You cannot ask for that. Like, let's be honest, they want a bit too much. It's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, no. That boss scene was actually really nice. Then the other one of them fighting on the
And the guy,
construction, this
sorry,
thing,
before you get there,
the guy with the
the
arm.
guy from Creed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I liked him in there. Although obviously he never really spoke. Yeah, I
Never
think
spoke.
he
He's
had like
supposed to be
two
dumb,
lines.
I guess.
No, not dumb. I think he's just supposed to be one of those yes, sir, I'm doing
No,
this.
that's what I mean by dumb. Like
No,
just
don't
like
use that word.
okay. He's
That's not
supposed to be like a military brute kind of person, just straight to the
thank you.
point, the head.
Not the other one. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, ma.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I
liked him
think
though in it. He
no, yeah,
played that
obviously,
well.
yeah, yeah, no, he did
Portrayed him
well.
very well.
I think it was one of those things that the fight. That's what I've always been the biggest fan of hand-to-hand martial arts. Like, it's one of those things that I actually, and that's one of the
Like
things that I
throughout the
look
movie.
for, not just in movies but in animes as well. Like, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of mecha animes
Dragon Ball Z.
because
Oh, sorry.
even Dragon Ball Z as well, but mecha animes or stuff of that nature. Because what I don't get that hand to hand. I don't like shwa power, wah, chua. Just those.
That's why I
Just
mentioned Dragon Ball.
yeah. It's sometimes yeah, I agree, and then, because it's. I just make it simple. Like, bring it down, make
Let's
it
bring it back to the
simple.
basics.
Let me just see. That's probably why in that Mortal Kombat, that first scene in Mortal Kombat where Scorpion fought the people that killed his family, I enjoyed it. Like, it just give me basic hand to hand combat. Just make it, and then so throw some camera angles in there, throw some things around, and let them jump, and it just changes it all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you're like, what am I watching? And speaking of which, more pros. This is a movie that did not have any blood and all of those things because we know how it is. Comparing to that Snake Eyes that also did not have any blood, but look at how crap that was looking compared to this.
That one may have had small blood.
Initially, from where I watched to the point I watched, I didn't watch that far. I said from the where I started to where I stopped, it was looking like, okay, you're trying to do a PG thing. I get that. But it looked so horrible. They were emphasizing on every drop. When they drop on the floor, it looked like, oh, wow, I've just done something now.
More. Yeah, I've done this move, but it just
it was a piss take. And I'm like, no. So
yeah, you're gonna talk about the scaffolding.
Yeah, I said no, I was saying that this is how to make a simple fighting movie. I mean, if anybody even wants to know how to do, go and watch like a Jackie Chan movie or something. A lot of times they do it this way.
Is coming up. When you want to talk about scaffolding, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, and I was going to go into that. I'm just trying to say, like, this is how a lot of Jackie, because in that scaffolding side, Jackie Chan came to my head immediately.
And Rush
because Rush out to Jackie, and because of the way he was maneuvering between the pile, the things, whatever, the pipes and blah blah blah.
Bamboo,
the pipes and bamboos and blah blah blah. Because that's how Jackie Chan used to maneuver. They just switch, flip, turn here. So those sequences were just something to watch.
Before you even moved to the scaffolding, there was a scene before that. Yeah, and that's the brief scene between him and his sister. It's a very, very brief fight, but I
that was good.
I actually wish they had gone on for ages.
Because he wasn't even fighting at all. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't, because he wanted to talk to her. And she was like, dude, I'm not talking to you. But that last kick, she fired him, my lord. Wow. Like, once she gave it to him, he just, his neck, everything, just passed out down. That was
passed out too. Well, like a shut up kind of kick. What? Shut up.
I'm rushing into a different part, but I'm mentioning it because of this scene. The moment we got onto that scene and the sister came on, I told my friend I was watching the movie, this is my new favorite character of the. This is my favorite character of the whole movie. The moment I saw her, I was like, no, this is it. I love her. I love her. Like her outfits, herself,
No, her
her being, the
outfits,
way she fought. Oh my,
everything was nice. It was actually nice. I have to
mad.
give
And this is
it,
her first role, apparently, ever.
really,
Ever.
wow. And
Yes.
this was she had a game character behavior to it. Like there's this kind of gamer, and I don't mean in a bad way. I meant like this badass game character that you like to play, that plays with things, that looks a certain way, that stuff like that. That everyone would the protagonist that everyone would attach to in a certain way. She had that to her, so I did. But speaking of characters, which you're moving, what is my auntie's name again? You know the name, I keep forgetting.
Michelle Yao.
Michelle Yao. That's
she's great.
She's great. First of all, she doesn't age. That's the first thing I don't understand, because I've been watching Michelle Yao for a long time. So I don't, and she looks exactly the same. It's just like I've tried to look for exactly the same. Number one. Number two is that it's like they just anytime they want to act these movies, they just go and call, hey, Mishaya, you're the one who the role is been created for you. You don't even need to even talk too much or do anything. Just tell us how to do the role, then we will now. What exactly do you want to see? The same role type in almost everything and she's literally, you're watching a movie like this that has some Asian kind of descent to it and everything, and then there's somebody that have a higher purpose that knows how to fight as a woman. Just close your eyes and just look. Ping. You just see her. She's the one. It's not. It's nobody else but her. Like, see, I mean, I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer enough to know if they showed her in the trailer, because I can't remember from the trailer. I cannot. So I did not.
I don't think they showed her, but I think they mentioned that she was going to.
And I did not even know she was going to be there. But the moment I saw her, like, oh, it's you again. We have met. Who else can it be? Who else can they give this movie to? It was just that kind of thing that you're like, welcome to. Thank you for welcoming me to the movie. Well, I'm welcome as well. It was one of those things, and I think where the story, I think where the movie has some cons in is like.
Oh no! Don't go to concept.
Okay.
Go on. Let me say something.
No, we are still. I'm not done with pros, by the way, but continue. I just can't think of them.
Because I figured we'll start cutting it up once we get there. Okay. I want to say the dad actually like him.
I like him. Oh yeah, no. Like, he was a badass guy. He was a character.
He was a badass guy. I'm not the kind of badass guy. You don't need to be big. You don't need to do too much. You could feel that don't try this guy. His statements had emphasis. Like when he said something.
Presence. When he had that presence, when he said something, he meant it in that way he said it. Like there was nothing else. It was just the mother that could calm him down. Outside of that,
I also like the mother's.
No, she was. Yeah. No, I like that character as well. Like, I think for me, I think they picked. Yeah, definitely very pure and very pure.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm cutting it a lot. I'm sorry.
Go on.
You go back to what you were going to say, that they picked something. You know that scene where we know she's about to die.
But she's about to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it just stayed with me. Then she now does that drawing.
That circle, the whole thing.
And I'm like, wow, she just looks like.
She don't look. No, she had this. They picked. That's what I'm trying to say. Like for this movie, all through, even Aquafina as well. Like all through, they picked.
And I will get to that. Yeah.
They picked good characters. Like I think every character was perfect for the role that they acted in. They did it very well. Like if everybody held their own. The father held his own, did it well. Loved the way he manipulated the rings. Loved the way he fought. Loved the way he was when he was taking over places initially. The way he just goes in and like.
Yes.
Him.
And even I think my favorite, funny enough, is that last part where they show when Shang is talking about telling the story, and
Mm.
they show where the dad took him for the first time when he took him to those guys that killed the mom,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the dad is wearing a jacket
yeah,
that he's folded up. He folded it up, and
yeah,
then the rings are there. I think the
yeah.
jacket was like brown, and they didn't show his face. It's the boy's face you could see. So all you could see was like from the neck down for the dad. But he had one hand holding his son and the other hand in his pocket. I swear, Miss me that noticed it, but he looked so. I was like,
Look
it
cool.
felt like I wanted to marry him in that scene. He just
Mm.
looked so cool. He
Mm.
looked so cool with the rings. No, not just that.
No, no, no.
He
I'm
looked
not. I know.
really
I
cool.
just say it doesn't
And
mean
then in
anything.
that, I think that scene also had maybe one of the most brutal scenes, because that's where he did. You know that guy he hit and he asked
Yeah,
him, "Where is your boss?" And
yeah,
then obviously off screen, he now uses the rings to fire the guy on the floor, and
yeah.
it's just the sound
It's
that
just the
hits you.
sound. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
Yes.
Definitely. I mean, it was one, like I said, the characters they chose perfectly.
Very well.
Everybody embodied their role. He embodied the devil, the role of the devil, and the mother embodied the role of the angel. Like it was just that kind of demon and
Yes.
angel kind of meet together to
Very
have
good
children.
comparison.
That's how it was. It was like she came from heaven, which is Taolo, and he was
Yes.
already taking over the demon realm.
Taking over
And
stuff,
then
and
she
she
was the one that
crowned him.
calmed him down. They had children.
Yes.
He was now being doting father, loving, and blah blah blah. Then they took the angel away. Then he now turned back into the
And he's like,
demon
back to
and
my
became back
ways.
to my ways,
Yes.
like back to being the worst person in the world.
I mean, look at
Outside
the
of,
way he said, "Oh, my children will come back." To him, it's like, "Oh, I just wanted you to come home.
imagine that. No,
Meanwhile,
just
you sent
imagine.
assassins to them."
Just,
They
no,
said,
no,
"Oh,
no. He told
welcome."
one of the I love that part in the when at the scaffolding place when he said, "I told you guys you can't kill him." Now, to me, that spoke in
That he,
volumes. What do you, because he didn't tell them capture him alive. He told them go and kill him. But he said, I
I,
know you
you
can't
can't.
kill him, but go and kill him. Like kill him. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't die, then he's my son, which I know. and and the guy, true to his word, did not die. He beat
Yeah,
everybody, even
I
even the
think
guy with the night with the whole mask
the
face
mask.
and everything. Yeah,
But I like that
no,
character too.
there,
Very cool
yeah, very
looking
cool,
mask and
everything,
character.
very cool
But I
looking
think the
mask.
sad part with that is obviously the way the dad consistently ignored the daughter, and she
She
said
does.
it too.
She was
So he
non-existent
mentioned
in.
my children coming home. So
Yeah,
he's aware she's there, but
but
he's
she's
not
also
putting.
non-existent in a sense. Like she doesn't
Yes.
really. He just passes over her. Like
Yeah, because of the
and
money that
credit to her that she learned the way she learned how to fight by just
the way
watching
she
and
learned.
practicing.
I just
Secondly, obviously, that was me watching another movie where they show like a child being trained from childhood doing all those things. And a long time ago, at some point in my life, I always felt like I would have loved not to be trained in that brutal way. Don't get me wrong, but
let
to be
them be
trained.
using sticks to hit your stomach.
No, but I would have loved to go through some kind of martial arts training in
Training.
that sense of when you watch all these old Jackie Chan movies where they balance
Yeah.
water or whatever it is
Oh,
and
you're
all those
leaning down on
things or
rocks,
your
all sorts
hey
of things,
or the one that is the
pins.
burning
Oh my
fire
god.
under you can't really bend down your body like
Yes.
that. I've always thought in my
Oh
life that
no.
that would have brought so much structure to me.
I think you say that only in retrospect, thinking, oh, in reality, you are like, no, I'm not doing again. Thank you.
No, yeah, definitely. But I'm just trying to say, like, one of those things that you think, imagine if you could just learn how to fight structurally like that. In that sense, that would have been very interesting. But anyways, he did. And speaking of training, training was severe. He had to punch as a kid till bleeding knuckles like continuously. Though you could see
And
that the
that's
father
all part.
did. You could see that the father did love him, like because stopped him, cleaned him up. Not that he was just that kind of
A kind of different love. Like
extremist,
the kind of love where the boy be like, please don't love me, okay?
the
But the only
toughest.
problem there is because he transferred his um anger against those that took the mom to the son, which is why he
Yeah,
was training him like, this is the the point where you like graduate by going to kill that last.
Yeah.
So the son is just like, I want to make you proud. I want to.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything to help my mom then, and now
So
I'm
I
going to
must,
do it. That's what they
yeah.
used, and that's what they were now like bonding over. That was just a bad thing there. That's not good.
That's not good.
At all.
Even so, I was
That's
like,
what made him leave his sister now. Like, I'm
abandoned
coming
her
back 3
completely.
days. Left. Like,
Chalo.
that's bad.
So speaking of cons, because there are not a lot of cons in the movie, I can't lie. It's not like there are a lot of cons like that, but there were a few ones that stuck out to me. The first one I did mention in the chat with Chola, and that was like, I noticed the stunt double a bit more than I would have loved to. I think that was one of those ones that I'm like, you're in Marvel. I mean, you know how to, I know it's not easy. It's not easy, especially with moving scenes. Like it's
I think it was harder for me to see the stunt double, but go on, finish.
It was in that.
I will explain.
I think it was in the tram scene that you would notice a stunt double. That was mostly where the rest was they covered it well, but that tram scene, like I literally saw the stunt double immediately. I was like, oh, come on. Like when it was moving, I was like, it's difficult to unsee it. You know, that's the problem with seeing a stunt. The moment you see it, you cannot tell that's not double, that's real person, that's not double, that's real person. You just be going, and it almost just breaks your concentration in what's actually going on in the movie. And that's why it's very important to cover your stunt doubles. Not that I can do any better, but I'm just saying it was one of those ones that I could not unsee after I saw it. Secondly, not sure how much I liked the supernatural characters as such. The dragon looked particularly, I don't know, just didn't look well done. Like they didn't finish to me.
Okay, for me, that I think the dragon looked very, very pretty, like very well done.
No, pretty. Don't get me wrong. I just felt like I was, you know what I have about being removed from.
You don't like things that are not real.
No, like it's not like not real.
That whole
it's not real.
You talked about with
I know that that's not. Yeah, I know that one was different, but that there's a different kind of character, so you can't really say, oh, you can't compare them in the same way because a dragon, you can't really have a humanoid dragon kind of looking thing in a sense. But I'm trying to say, like, there are some times that Marvel has done it in the past where they've brought in big things, and for me, I didn't care. Like it merged, it looked good. This looked good. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt something. I just felt a slight disconnect. Then some of the other ones look good, but I hated. I mean, not that I hated. Cute, the bomb thing that flies. That one is cute, but
I don't know why I'm calling it bomb. That one is weird.
But it's weird. Cute. No, cute in the way it behaves. But that's why it's a butt face. It's just like I saw a butt face with wings. But then they're bringing in, obviously that's how they now use to bring back that character that was what's his name? That was an Iron Man. I was like, oh, that's the guy. So this is where he has been.
Oh, the Mandarin guy.
The Mandarin, that was Iron Man. So they used that to bring him back and just kind of tell a somewhat kind of story. Anyways, that was just a filler. So it was then.
But wait, before you move off the characters, they also had, for me, I also liked the QB looking nice.
No. I like that. That I just was thinking
white and pure, very pretty.
Naruto just came to my head. The moment I saw that, like Naruto, immediately. Like Naruto.
I do have to say though, there was that one where, you know, the moment the car came out of the woods,
the horse
landed and first saw that horse. The
man, that was creepy.
Was the most
and he looked at them like that,
in
like
my life.
He looked at them and I was like,
it looked like them for like 5 minutes. It felt like 5 minutes, and I kept expecting, oh my god, is this thing going to talk? And I was telling my friend that this looks so uncomfortable. That this is so uncomfortable. Like I kept telling my friend, this is so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. But yeah, Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to say that. What are your other cons? Because I have one
No,
that
go
I
on.
want to get
Talk
into.
about
Okay.
your.
Well, okay, no, I have to. There was one thing I noticed the most. Now, I think maybe the not worst fight, but one of the worst is the whole village fight at the end.
Oh no, definitely it
Because
wasn't
it's
great.
supposed to
It
be
wasn't
this whole
great.
big thing, but it was weird.
It was
Because
weird. It
maybe
wasn't
it's a
great.
small amount of people. Then there was one part I noticed the most. It was like they were showing, I think they were showing Shang and his dad or the weird creatures coming out. But then they quickly shot back to the guys fighting. It was now a shot of the sister talking to the guy from Creed. But literally, the moment they shot back to them, they looked like they were having a conversation, not fighting. And I had
Yeah.
to, and it was so, I was like, I told my friend, what just happened right now? It looked more like they were talking before they now turned to do something else or to look at what was coming to them. But literally, it looked like they were just talking, or maybe they were about to get intimate. It was very weird. Like it was so obvious to me. I was like, okay, one of those things where it's hard to do those kind of big.
It's hard. It's hard. No, no. That's why it's
and because they were now wearing big, it was only a few people. But it
yeah.
was supposed to be big. So yeah, that was weird. But the other stuff with Shang and his dad, that encounter, that fight was good.
Was
Especially
okay.
after Shang told his dad, if mom sees you now, does she even want you? And the guy just said, that's when he gave him that punch.
Yeah. So the
Punch
fought.
him
No,
in
their
his
fight. Their
gutter.
fight was good. Their fight was good.
Yeah. I
You
know
had
some people
another
may
one.
not like
Is
all
that is
that
that is that
horror
all?
stuff.
Is that all the cons you had? The two cons. You had one. I thought you
No,
wanted.
Aquafina.
Yeah, that was a con for
Aquafina.
mine. Yeah, to a certain
Yeah.
degree.
No,
But
first
continue.
of all, yeah, to a certain degree. I liked her in the movie because one has to worry because she's that
Yeah.
comedic stuff. So for the
Yes.
most part, I actually liked her in there. She was cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my con with her is, why would you bring your friend? I would not even bring. She said she was coming. Why would she want to go with you to all these places? So even if you go to China,
No,
I understand that.
she's
But
she,
then
no,
to Tao Lo, I'm
she's
like,
in love.
okay,
No, she's
then
in
why
love.
is she along to
She's
fight?
she's in love with
Then
him.
no, not even that. Then
That's
suddenly
why she's
she's able
following
to
him now.
use the arrow and have that lucky shot.
No, no, no,
I'm
no, no,
like,
no.
okay.
That was a no. It was
Then
a
at the
no, no.
end,
Wait, change. They now carry that to the part. They say, and you
that one
too.
doesn't make
That one,
you
that
too.
one
That one
off
doesn't
me.
make
That one
sense.
off me. But wait, let's start.
If it was
Let's
brother
start.
and
No.
sister that they said, go and call your sister, you guys need to come.
No, 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 no. That
Brother
end, no,
sister
no,
do, but
no, no.
Aquafina,
That
what is
end
she doing?
part doesn't make any sense.
No,
Number
it
one,
doesn't. I
no,
think they just want they've
the
put her in
Aquafina, no,
Marvel's.
The Aquafina story was a moral story rather than a Marvel. It was a moral story. She cannot choose to do anything in life. She's finding it. She's good at stuff, but she keeps jumping up and down. So they now finally said the old woman tells her, "Oh, you need to choose a target to shoot or something like that."
The line was aim at nothing, hit
And
nothing.
it's
I actually
nothing.
like that line.
So no, definitely. That is a lifeline. But then that's how. So we did now put the idea in her head, aim at nothing, hit nothing. She now goes to go and be a bow and archer, arrow kind of human being. And then she has to aim at something to hit something. And the something she aims at is the thing's throat, where she aims at something, hits something. So it's a whole moral story. And then maybe that would not help her fix her life in future, which we don't know. And then fixing her life ended up with a very useless thing that she's now going on Marvel superheroes.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
She's already in Marvel stories, so they had to keep her in there. No,
yeah.
She's the nerd. You know, in all these Marvel movies, there's like a friend, not all, but you know, Spider-Man has his friend.
Yeah.
So she's the friend.
Yeah, no, I get.
But it's the way they put her in. It makes no sense.
Yeah, like, no, it makes no sense. I think that was
what is she going to do?
That was
going to build a suit for her now.
No, no. She should be careful because she can turn to what's his name, Melvin. She can just turn to Milton. I keep forgetting. She can turn. She should be careful because she might become a Milton. Where they're like, Milton was here. That's how she'll just be dead. And they'll be like, why was she following all this time? We thought you've left her seats in the house, anyways. What was this? You know what? I think I might have missed the second post-credit scene. Maybe.
Oh, really? Okay,
so what was
I was gonna say that led into the first post-credit. Apparently, maybe they just threw that in without a real plan yet as to what that beacon it is shooting out means. Apparently, that's what I heard.
The beacon, yeah, no,
The
I know the
sec-
beacon shooting out. I know that. I know about that one. What's the second one?
yeah. The second one, even is the sister. You see her sitting down on the same like sit thing that her dad was sitting in that compound. So she hasn't shut down the Ten Rings organization. She's just making it her own thing. So there you see her training a bunch of babes. So I don't know if they were saying maybe they recognized a babe there that was from Black Widow. But I don't know how true that is. Is this guys that said that part? So apparently, maybe I don't know if they're going to connect it that way with those girls that were released from Black Widow.
Yeah,
but she's
maybe.
training a bunch of babes. Then she now has those 10 ring shoulders from her dad, like there. And the guy from her club in China, that's a dude that they met, is there as well. So basically, it's just her on the chair chilling, like
yeah.
the 10 ring sign behind her.
Interesting.
Clearly, and they say she's going to, 10 rings will be back. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
interesting.
It's not a long thing, but yeah.
It's not a long thing, but anyways, that's our whole thing on this. Yeah. So
all in all,
it's a good movie. And now we move into our riders, guys. Riders. So we're going random. It's been a long time since we've done random. We've been theming for a while, so now let's just go random.
Yeah.
So I'm going with a manhwa that is still ongoing, but it has a lot of chapters. So you read it. It's similar to something like if you like Solo Leveling, you definitely like this one. So it's called Overgeared. Manhwa. It's called Overgeared. So yeah, check it out, guys. And Chola?
For me, I was thinking of what to pick. I went with something I watched ages ago. Like ages, actually. I've been thinking at some point I'm going to go back and rewatch because I enjoyed watching it at the time. And not to delay the title, it's called Shakugan no Shana.
Yeah, I know Shakugan.
You should know it. It had a lot of good fight scenes in there. There are elements of the story that might annoy people. And just give a heads up. It depends on the individual, what you like or what you don't like. Especially in the second season. But it has a lot of good fights across. It's 3 seasons. Let me just put it out there, about 24 or something each.
Shakugan.
But it has a lot of good fights in there, and people with abilities and stuff. But good fights, very good fights. Yeah, so Shakugan is one of them.
All right, that's Overgeared from me. Shakugan no Shana from Chola. So with that, guys, we've come to the end of our podcast. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening.
Shang-Chi.
Go watch it. And by the way, from the title, you should know it's spoilers.
Oh, at the end, that's what you say.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend and week ahead. Bye.
Bye.